Rolling. Take one.
What's something that matters the most to you?
My family.
Relationships with people.
I think how I treat people and how others treat me and everyone else in the world. I just feel like right now with so much hate in the world, we need to focus daily on how we treat each other.
People's feelings are like a huge thing for me because I don't want anyone feeling like they're upset or like uncomfortable, and I always try and make things better. Also animals, I love animals.
My family, definitely.
What's a trend that you liked but couldn't explain why?
TikTok in general is a trend, and I was not about it at first. I was like, that's stupid, I don't want to do that. And then now I'm addicted.
I'm the same way. Literally, before like quarantine, everyone was like, no, TikTok, that ain't it.
Who determines what trends are cool or not?
I think it starts with our generation, kind of. On most things, we set the bar, and then, like, for example, Snapchat it's still big, but it was a huge trend, like, a while ago. And my parents are just now hopping on that trend. So that's what I feel like it's Gen Z, and we set the bar, but then it trickles from there.
I would definitely say the influencers, the famous people do it first, and then it gets to schools and it just blows up at school, I feel like.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just anyone who's seen on like social media or TV, because like I don't know, there's a lot of like football players with their dance moves, and those are huge trends. And like, or just anyone on social media, like influencers, if they can start a trend so fast.
Yeah.
What's something that mattered a lot to you in middle school but doesn't matter so much to you now?
Popularity.
Popularity is a good one.
Fitting in.
I think in middle school, it was all about what clique you were in. Like you had to be just like everyone else in your group, or you wouldn't fit in with that group. Like you would be a loner. And I feel like high school is such a good place. Like it's a weird transition phase for me. Like figuring out who you are can be different than your friend group that you had in middle school. Which is such a hard concept to grasp, I feel like.
Can you look at someone and tell whether or not you're going to be friends with them?
Yes. I get a vibe from people, and if I don't like the vibe, then I don't know. It's weird.
You don't have to be like just like that person. It's kind of like you said, the vibe that they give off, you're gonna either click or you're not. And being like close friends is different than being nice, because being nice is one thing. You can do that to anybody and everybody, but forming a relationship or a bond with someone, it depends on your personality and their personality.
How do you go about finding common ground with others when what matters most to them is something you don't really care about?
I tend to ask a lot of questions, like why they think that or why they're acting like that.
Talking it out is a big thing for me. And first, it's kind of like an attitude check, because if you're not in the right attitude to understand or they're not, you're not gonna find common ground. And that's just...
I think if they did not ask for my perspective, I'm just gonna listen and be like, you know what? I don't care, but you're my friend, and I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna tough it out with you.
Yeah.
I always try and support my friends, but if it's like something we disagree on and it's like something that's really bad, then I probably won't support them on it, but I'll always try and support my friends, even if we don't agree on something.
Yeah, I feel like loving each other is the common ground. Like we can have our own opinions, and I support mine and you support yours, and maybe I don't believe in what you believe in, but love is where we come together, I feel like.
Are your friends your biggest support group, or do you think your family's your biggest support group?
Definitely my friends.
Mine was my friends,
my friends.
too.
My friends are my family.
Yeah, that's good. Because I feel like family, you all grow up the same, and like you're supposed to have that mindset.
Right.
And you choose your friends.
Yeah.
And so you choose what mindset you want to have. Like I feel like friendship is such a new thing. It's like I get to choose who I want to be in my friendship, and then y'all can kind of have the same mindset, so that makes it feel like family.
What do you do when following Jesus is something that matters a lot to you but doesn't really matter so much to your friends?
I have a lot of friends that don't believe in God.
And it's hard to find that balance too. Where are you going to try to live up to following Jesus and trying to spread Jesus, but also you're trying to be a good friend, and it's balancing the two. And
also talking it out with them, like understanding why they believe the way, like why they believe certain things, and then you sharing your beliefs on why you believe, like in like Jesus. I feel like that's a good thing, because a lot of people don't do that. They're just like, they either push it on them or they just like let it go. And I also think that sometimes when there's like people who don't believe in Jesus, and you are trying to like not like push it on them, but like understand why, then they're just being toxic about it. You don't necessarily have to like stop being friends with them, but at least distance yourself, because then it could be a bad thing for you in your relationship with Jesus.
All my friends, I try not to like push on my religion to them, but I tell them, hey, if you ever want to come to someplace, you just come to church. Pretty chill there. All my friends, they know I'm Christian.
What's one thing you hope people watching this take away from this conversation? I hope people take away the aspect of loving unconditionally, your friends, your family, coworkers. Just loving whoever you can, whenever you can.
That's one of the best ways to show, like, Jesus, like, to show that he loved everyone unconditionally, whether they were sinners, like, well, everyone's a sinner, but it's just the best way to show it.
I think that's what's cool about what matters to us. It's like, that should be our biggest priority, is to love others.
But also remembering that, like, you don't have to love them like up close. You can love them from a distance, you know? You don't have to be like in their face all the time, just being like, hey, what do you need? What can I do for you? I love you so much. Like, no, you can love them from a distance and be like, I support you over there.